Lastly, I am beautiful, worthy, and I am enough right now as I stand, right here as I stand. Beautiful, worthy, enough. Beautiful, worthy, enough. Beautiful, worthy, enough. That's who you are. Before you leave out that door, beautiful, worthy, enough. Beautiful, worthy, enough. Just let that meditate. Let that thing sit in your soul, your spirit. So even if an insecurity pop up, because it will, insecurities get on my nerve. They coming. But have something to fight them back with. Be ready to punch them in the throat. Beautiful, worthy, enough. Get into it. All right, recap real quick. We got to make decisions up front, okay? Just like the weight loss journey, anytime we're trying to lose weight, the maintenance period is longer. How are you going to maintain being set free from a broken heart, right? We got divorce bitterness. We can give it that divorce decree, okay?
Hey, it's Logan Renee of the SOULKATION podcast, a place where you will learn how to shape your own success, maximize your unique gifts, maintain your self-love, and so much more when we get back from thanking our sponsors. Are you ready to snatch your permission slip back and take charge of your life? Well, this podcast is sponsored by the #1 new release book, Never Ask for Permission Again. Grab your copy today by clicking on the link in the show notes. Ladies, it's time for the 2021 SOULKATION Retreat. I just want to be the real me. This retreat is about to be super live, and you could join us virtually or in person in Atlanta, Georgia on August 27th and 28th. Here's why we want you there. I want you to imagine a life where you like the woman that you are and you're able to forgive the woman that you were. And how do you think you would feel if you received practical resources and tools that you can use after leaving the retreat to either start that business or apply for that next promotion? This is why we want you in those seats, because we're going to walk you through what it means to be the real you. And for those of you who sign up for the VIP experience, you'll be able to attend the exclusive gourmet networking dinner on Friday, August 27th with yours truly, me, Logan Renee. Seats are limited, so make sure you grab your ticket today at www.soulkation.com and get ready for a retreat full of giveaways, amazing speakers, and shocking surprises. I will see you at the retreat.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the SOULKATION podcast. I am your host, Logan Renee. We're going to talk about loving with a broken heart, and this is part 2. So make sure you go back and catch part 1, honey, because we went in on part 1. So now we're going to focus on the maintenance plan, okay? What I have learned in my journey of weight loss, weight stay, weight try, and just wait, honey. When you're going through a weight loss journey or a weight release journey, the maintenance portion is longer than the losing weight portion. So if you got to lose weight for 6 months or 4 months or 2 months, then you got to spend the next 18 to 25 years maintaining the weight loss. You know what I'm saying? And some people do. Some people never gain the weight back. And, that's such a blessing for the kids, But 2 decisions have to be made up front that are critical when it comes to maintenance. Number 1, we got to divorce bitterness. That's number 1. In order to maintain being set free, because we did the prayer on part 1. So make sure you go listen to part 1. We have to divorce bitterness. We need a divorce decree from the state, honey, that's signed, sealed, and delivered. Got your name on. A divorce decree from bitterness. Sarah Jake said something that was really good. She said, we are all one heartbreak away from bitterness. All of us. It's so true. We are all one heartbreak away from bitterness. So what happens if our heart is broken multiple times? Do we just keep stacking bitterness? No, we got to divorce it every single time. People are going to disappoint us. People are going to let us down. People are people. We have let people down. I have let people down, So we have to divorce ourselves from it. So how do you divorce yourself from it? It's number 1, finding peace with the absence of what he never had the courage to say. Finding peace with the absence of what he never had the courage to say. Let's say somebody ghosted you. Let's say someone cheated on you. So let's say somebody chose someone else over you. You literally have to find peace with the absence of him not telling you the whole story, And even if he did, let's just say he was a goody two shoe. He came back and he was like, 2 years ago, I broke up with you because of dot, dot, dot. Even if he comes back, the way you dreamed about the closure, it's not going to happen like that. What you expect him to say, it's not going to happen like that. You're going to have to finish his sentences. And you know what's real sad? They halfway forget what they did. So you reminded him of all the things you still hurt by, and he don't even know what happened. He been sleeping good. He hasn't been worried. Nothing has affected him. He done been in 3 relationships since then. Jack, he don't even remember your middle name or your birthday. That's what's real sad, okay? So how we set ourselves free from going back and forth is knowing that whatever the person says is not going to erase the year of pain. It's not going to erase it. Even if he comes and says what you want him to say, it's not going to erase the pain, the year of pain, or the month of crying, or the number of times you told different people what happened. Closure doesn't erase the timeline. Closure does not erase the timeline. It might give you a slight bit of, oh, okay, well, at least he came and told me the truth eventually. It doesn't erase how you felt. It doesn't. So it's our job to, and I trust me when I say I know this is hard. It took me years to get over one of my exes. Years. Because I love that young man, trifling self. But I loved him for some reason. He just did stuff that was very talented. Okay. Anyway, so find peace with the closure. How you find peace is by granting it to yourself. It's the only way. Find peace with the closure that you grant yourself. You got to say it in your head. This just didn't work out. This wasn't the man for me. Would I want a man that can't open his mouth and say how he feels? Can I be in a relationship with a person that is not honest, that's not genuine? You know, I want to attract a person that is honest and consistent and follows through and keeps their word. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you want. So that's what you should seek and desire. And that's the only thing you should accept. Like anything else is like, no. Now, nobody's coming through perfect, but there are some boundaries that we can put in place. Number 2, be intentional about studying yourself. Intentional about studying yourself. What are your insecurities? It could be 6 things. It could be 4 things. It could be 20 things. But what are they? There's nothing wrong with acknowledging them. And then you know how to flex with them. You know how to work through them. You know which angles to hit. Boom. Okay. You know what colors to wear. You know what colors not to wear. I don't ever wear gray. Ever. It's not my color. Okay. It can be in my decor, but it won't be in my body. I don't know why gray made me look long and leaning. What are your insecurities? And how can you flex with them? Because they're going to be there, but we don't have to breathe life into them. We don't have to give them energy. We don't even got to pay attention to them, right? Because when we pay attention to insecurities, other people notice them too. Energy is huge and people pick up on it. People pick up on body language. Like you sitting there all covered up and I don't like my breast. I don't like my elbow. People pick up on that. What's your personality type? I highly recommend taking the DISC test, and that's DISC, doing a DISC assessment, just to understand different facets of you. There's nothing more beautiful than knowing yourself. It's a beautiful thing. Okay. I highly recommend taking the DISC assessment just to understand how you move, what rooms to be in, what rooms to avoid, what people to have around you, what people not to have around you. Okay. Are you an introvert, ambivert, or extrovert? Do you like hanging around extroverts or do you not? So as soon as you see that personality, be like, oh, I'm good on you. Or like, oh, like me and you can vibe, right? Are you left brain, right brain? Are you right in the middle? Right brain, we are emotional, we're creative. Left brain, they're very analytical, they're logical, they're by the book. Where are the rules? We need the rules out. Right in the middle, are you analytical and very creative? You know, what is that about you? When you're expressing yourself, when people are expressing themselves to you, how is your body language? Is it slumped over? Is it over it? Because people pick up on that. You know, do you always, even if you don't say you got an attitude, people just feel your attitude and people just don't want to be around you. You know, just evaluate study yourself. Study you. That's the best master's degree that you can get, is one on yourself. And it's really about putting this together. And we do this in the Soul Care package. In our program, we go through these things because we get to the nitty gritty foundation of you. There's no way you can run a Fortune 500 company, all those things that keep coming at you, and you don't like who you are. You don't know who you are. And you flex depending on the people that you're around. It's important to have a foundation already set. Okay, I want you all to repeat after me. I vow to know me so well, and I vow to love me completely. I vow to know me so well, and I vow to love me completely. And let's add something. I even vow to love myself consistently. Okay, completely and consistency. okay? I mean, consistently. To love myself completely and love myself consistent, okay? Now that you're walking in your healing, you clear, you ain't looking for closure outside of yourself, you giving yourself closure, because the closure that you want does not even erase what you have felt for the past 6 years, 6 months, 2 days. It's not going to erase that, right? So now you walk into your healing. So before you go on your next date, before you get cute, okay, and put on your new lip, okay, before you walk out the door, adopt this motto for me. I won't go on this date, okay, unless I'm going to be my whole self. I will not go on this date unless I'm going to be my whole self. Not your half self, okay? Not your contoured self. Not who I think he want me to be self, but your whole self. Hey, but your whole self. Hey, like literally, I'm about to walk out this door and I'm gonna be me. And after that agreement, I need you to go to the mirror. You cute, everything together, everything sitting where it's supposed to sit, okay? And say, I'm not perfect, but I am whole and I am complete right now. I'm not perfect, but I am whole and I am complete right now, okay? I'm going to be my true self because my true self is enough for the right person. Okay, I'm going to be my true self because my true self is enough for the right person. Lastly, I am beautiful, worthy, and I am enough right now as I stand, right here as I stand. Beautiful, worthy, enough. Beautiful, worthy, enough. Beautiful, worthy, enough. That's who you are. Before you leave out that door, beautiful, worthy, enough. Beautiful, worthy, enough. Just let that meditate. Let that thing sit in your soul, your spirit. So even if an insecurity pop up, because it will, insecurities get on my nerve. They coming. But have something to fight them back with. Be ready to punch them in the throat. Beautiful, worthy, enough. Get into it. All right, recap real quick. We got to make decisions up front, okay? Just like the weight loss journey, anytime we're trying to lose weight, the maintenance period is longer. How are you going to maintain being set free from a broken heart, right? We got divorce bitterness. We got to give it that divorce decree, okay? Because closure does not erase the timeline. So we have to find, because we try to seek closure. Like we have to get an apology. Child, that apology ain't coming. If it comes, it's going to be halfway. It's going to be sorry. It's going to be an excuse wrapped up in it, child. So find peace with the closure that you grant yourself. How do we maintain moving forward, living in a maintenance process? We have to be intentional of studying ourselves. What are some things we did wrong in a relationship? What do we give too much of? You know, should we have went to therapy with the person we're in a relationship? Should we have been in therapy by ourselves? You know, do I really even know myself while I'm trying to get this man to commit to me? What is he committing to? You know, what do I even like? What hobby have I done in the past year? What trade have I picked up? What book have I read? What list of places have I written down that I actually want to travel and see? What mentors do I have around me? Is my circle, is my front row really for me? You know, what's my prayer life like? Like getting down to the nitty gritty of you, because at the end of the day, you're going to have to bring your whole self to a relationship. And the things that we did not work on, the things we didn't study, the things we didn't understand about ourselves, they're going to all show up in a relationship. They're going to show up. They just do. Naturally, right? And lastly, before you walk out that door, take your whole self, not half yourself, not half, your whole self, okay? And remember, beautiful, worthy, enough. Beautiful, worthy, enough. Make sure you all share this episode with a close friend, especially if they're dealing with any type of insecurity, if they just went through a breakup or anything. Please send them this episode. You can even share it on YouTube. Thank you again for listening. Rate this episode 5 stars, give it a like, a thumbs up. We'll catch you on the next episode of the SOULKATION podcast.
My hope is that your soul just went on a vacay and you have tools that you can apply to your life today. For more in-depth tools, head on over to loganrenee.com. Also, if you have questions that weren't answered on this episode, email your questions to logan@loganrenee.com and I'll answer them here on the show. I'll talk to you soon.